Hello, my dear subscribers. Sun and Moon Rising. I'm Maria the Camboyan, and I'm going to be doing a general reading for the month of July for the sign of Pisces 2018. I apologize for the inconvenience of changing the videos to the original channel that I used to have before. I started with Maria Rodriguez and her Spanish Tarot, in Spanish, of course. But I'm going to put it back because it's very hard to maintain two channels. And when I'm uploading videos, it's very complicated. So with that said, I apologize. I'm going to continue to do the English videos to those that have subscribed to my channel. The only inconvenience is going to be that when I upload something, it's going to have a Spanish or English, but you just have to look at the cover of it, and it's going to say it's Spanish only or English only. Basically, I do go live in Spanish every Tuesday. And for English, it's Wednesday. The time is going to be announced, but most likely I'll go on around 9 o'clock at night. But I usually announce beforehand if anything happens, because of weather conditions. We'll be having problems in the location where I live with the internet services. So with that said, Pisces, I'm gonna start your reading, okay? And if you know, those that have been following me, you guys know that I do use the tarot. This time I'm gonna be using the fairy tarot from Doreen Virgil and Raleigh Valentine, and this is using first, second, third, and fourth week of the month. And I'm using the message from the angel oracles from Doreen Virgil. So this is the card that represents how the energy, your overall energy, more or less similar to that foundation. This is where you are, and this card will represent, this could be a GPS card to what can you do. This is a possibility. Remember, I'm only going to reach a portion of you that are going through this scenario, these problems, or maybe a portion of you, okay, that maybe partial of these cards might resonate with you, the other part is not. So just take from my reading what is necessary to you, or what you're resonated with, and the rest, leave it alone. Don't touch it. It's not for you. Don't touch it, okay? So don't even pay attention. However, to the part that it might resonate, I go this way, and I could do the reading in different ways. You have two major arcanas, 14 and 13, if you want to play those numbers. And you have 4 winter cards for you, Pisces. May be that you guys are going to a lot of conflicts going on, either in your job, or if it's not your job, your partner or your family. The foundation that you have is the Prince of Spring. Charming, self-confident, passionate, restless. Immediate action. A challenge. Can you successfully manage a passionate relationship? So the Prince means that you have to take action, like it says here. So whatever conflicts you have, whatever problem there is, it's time for you to say, this is it, stop, or take that action, okay? Take that moment, say what you're going to do, what you're going to say, and move on. This can also represent a relationship coming to you, to those that are in a younger group. Let's say in your early 20s and 30s, you might be entering a very passionate relationship. Even though this is not your energy, you can be in a relationship with a fire sign. This can also mean a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Or if this person doesn't have those signs, it can mean that it has that energy of those signs. Remember that we are part of a little bit of every sign, but we actually more concentrated on the sign that we are born in, and then the rising sign. That's the most 2 important ones that you basically need to listen to those videos. And if you do want to go to my my channel, there is a chart there that you can fill up and you can find out who is your rising sign. Okay, just click on the channel and you'll see it. If you have any problems finding it, please don't hesitate to email me, and remember, my email is right here. Okay, so with the balance card as a major arcana, you have take everyone's input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time, there is no need to rush. So this is telling you a balance card is similar to a justice card in the regular tarot. So in with the balance, you might be into you have to take consideration to other people. Sometimes what happens is that we get into you have to ask other people what their input is. Okay, sometimes we have to just say okay, let's see what so has to say. Sometimes we have to ask for advice. Let's say when you're buying a house, you're gonna ask for advice, right? When you go for a job interview, you're gonna ask questions to the job interviewer to see that if you guys are in the same page of to what you're looking for and what they're looking for. So remember that you have to make a solution, but you have to see what else is out there, ask questions, ask others what do they think, and look for the best solution for you. Let's say you take a job and then sometimes job promise you one thing and then they do another. So that's another thing that happens. And maybe if you're in a situation where you were asked for a job and they told you this is what they were going to offer you, and they later on you realize that what they offer you is not what you're actually doing, you had the right to walk away. Okay, so look at people, ask for them, and also this is a 10 of winter, so you might be getting into a final destination. You're done, this is your project, and this is done. The resolution of difficulties way lifted off your shoulders, the end of addiction or codependency. So you probably like the card said, is at the end of the addiction or codependency. So if the balance card over here will be like the temperance card, so you're making sure you put the right foot in the right place. You probably are finishing a cycle of codependency. Maybe you dependent on your husband or your wife. Maybe you dependent on any substance abuse, or maybe like I said, this is a general reading, so you may be going through different challenges in different situations. So maybe you were dependent on someone, and then now you decided that you're no longer with this person. Now you're not going to depend. Some of you might be depending on your parents. Maybe you decide that you no longer want to depend on your parents, and you're going to move on to a new relationship for yourselves. Okay, so see, with the Four of Springs, you have if this is the case that being a prince, I feel this might be you also be grateful. You have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness are content in personal life. So the Four of Springs is the four wands. I'm sorry, it's probably a celebration. So some of you, I feel that Pisces might be getting to a relationship now. You're moving on to a relationship, and you ended a cycle of your life. Maybe the cycle of you depending on your parents. Maybe and some of you are going to start a new life without your parents. So you're going to move in together, some of you, and this is who these cards resonate with. The ones that decided to make a change with your life. You are moving away. Even if you don't move in with a partner, maybe you're moving by yourself, but you're making that change or moving on and not being under your parents' shoulder. Okay, And here you had the Queen of Summers. So probably you're moving out of your house because you have a relationship. You have the energy of the Queen of Summers. And the Queen of Summer is a water sign. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Loving, comforting, emotional, intuitive. Listen to your heart. Intuitive insights you can trust. Taking care of others perhaps too much. So probably you took care of so many people, Pisces, and this resonate with you, and now it's time for you to take care of yourself. So this, you know, what happens is with Pisces, probably you took care of your daughters, your kids, your grandkids, and you're taking care of everybody else, but you're not taking care of yourself. And you have the energy of the Queen of Cups, which is the mother of mothers. Even if you're not a water sign, that could feel you could be going through this. Or it could also mean that you probably had a mother, Pisces, and or have a mother, because your mother could be dead or your mother can be alive, and maybe you are feeling the necessity to either speak to your mom, to be part of your mom's life. If you're married a woman, it doesn't matter. Some people are more needed than others with their parents. Some of them grew up as a person with not a father or not a mother, and then if you were adopted, you tend to love that person with unconditional love, as much if you would love your birth mother. But whoever you are, you're probably missing or want to be in part of that mother figure, and it's okay. The bottom card that you have is card number 13. So those who like to play numbers, you have a 14 and 13 on the bottom. It says release of the past and ending that makes way to new opportunities. Take time to move on. So for those that I'm speaking to, Pisces, maybe you had a relationship that you need to release. Maybe you had to release your past, whatever you left behind. If it's a relationship, if it's a job, and just move on to whatever is coming to you new. Based on all these winter cards, I feel that it's emotional or relationship conflicts that you had. Someone probably had a relationship and it was very conflicted. See the next card that you had. There is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. So you had the 10 of Winters. Is very similar to what I did to one of the other signs above. So you're gonna tell the truth, and instead of running away, the cards are telling you whatever it is that you know is either your truth or the other person's truth. If this is a relationship reading, if maybe the other person was lying to you or you're lying to the other person, so whatever it is start running away. I feel that card, the 7 of Winter, is when you walk away from something, and sometimes you're just walking away because you feel that there is no other choice. And this is telling you you have to walk away because maybe you did try every possible way, but it's time to move on. Okay, so the next card is the Princess of Winter. Information, it says, inquisitive, truthful, realistic, and undiplomatic. Information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear, is speaking the truth with kindness as an individual, child, or an adult. So this is telling you start running away, because finally you're gonna have to speak the truth. You can't continue to run away from people and place. So at this time you probably need to like I said, say the truth and don't let no one stop you. With the Princess of Winter is a card that is a slow moving person, or maybe someone is going to come from the air sign to tell you or bring you news of something that you needed to do. So with that said, you're probably going to hear news from the person is going to bring you news slowly but surely. And this could be one of the air signs, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or you're dealing with that energy. So some of you, because I see the princess here, you might be dealing with a child. Maybe you're dealing with children, and they don't necessarily have to be children. They could also be, if you're in the 60s, your children might be in their 40s, or a similar situation. Or maybe you're Virgo and you're dealing with the parents, and because you might be dealing with your mom. So I feel that to those that I'm reading to, is more or less a family opposed to a relationship, but every energy is different. So you know exactly who you're dealing with, and you know who that other person is that is affecting your life, or the other that person that is you having conflict with, unless you're in a conflict because of your own emotions, because of your own spirituality. So if that's the case, this is not from the cards because I'm reading any cards. This is what I'm seeing in the whole story of this reading. The last card you have is the Ace of Winter. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It is important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. So you know, you don't feel that, okay, this is a loss. Just see it as in the beginning. It's the Ace of Winter. So it means that whatever happened in the past is in the past, and now you're going to start a new path. Whatever your situation is, like I say, you have 2 fire energies, Pisces. So, a spring energy, like it says here, the foundation, and this one over here. But mostly is conflicts, emotional conflicts or spiritual conflicts. Maybe a relationship, or maybe, like I said before, a relationship, and you need to probably balance the situation and release the negativity that's around it. Sometimes we keep on holding on to negative energies that we have no reasons to be holding on to. The last card, and this is how you feel, is Angel Daniel. It says, I am the angel of marriage, and I am assisting you right now. So if you were in a relationship and you are getting married, or this is a marriage situation, because some of you, like I said in the beginning, might be getting married. Okay, so I really and you might be having conflicts in your marriage. Let's see what the angel says. At this here additional message, you have called upon God to help the area of marriage, and He sent me to your side. I am here to help you with fulfilling marriage. God and I decided to answer your prayers without delay. The first area that I am helping you, which is the healing any past wounds related to marriage in quiet moments. I ask that you be willing to release to me any pain associated with your parents. I ask you to breathe our own negative feelings that you may have about marriage, which seems to from your household experiences. So here is the card of releasing, and I think it's covering what I basically said. So maybe some of you have issues with your parents. So maybe, and I'm getting now what I was focusing before. So probably you have issues with your parents, or your parents have issues with your children because of things that happened to you in the past. Maybe your relationship with your parents were not the greatest one, or the relationship with your mother. You can be male or female, it doesn't matter. You still could have a bad relationship with your mother even if you are male. So remember what this angel is telling you, and that's the reason why you're maybe having conflicts with your marriage. Next, I put my hand upon your heart and ask you to breathe in out deeply. I now ask you that you be willing to release all pain and anguish toward your first love. As you release these toxins from your heart, I next ask you to exhale all pain towards all of your past lovers. Allow me to clear your heart and all wounds so you can enjoy a happy marriage rooted in the present. We must release the past to avoid replicating all painful experiences. I am here to free you from the heart so that you can fully love within a blissful marriage. So maybe the conflicts that you're having also here, the balance card is telling you take everyone's input into consideration. Maybe viewpoints, maybe you have to merge viewpoints about the new relationship that you're starting and release. Sometimes you have more than one relationship that you continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. So you might be physically or psychologically be hurting your partner if this has to do with you, Pisces, and release whatever negative energy you have. Okay, so the last card that you have is Merlina, which is the GPS card to me. This is what you can do in this relationship, and it's also, both of them are almost, well, Daniel is basically telling you the whole reading that I did. To those who are in a relationship or marriage situation, or problems with the mother, you may have to, if your mom is still alive, apologize. Or and even if the person passed away, mother or father, whatever bad relationship you had, you have the right to apologize to them, even if they cannot apologize to you back, but release yourself to any negative feelings. Merlina says you are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research or seek expert advice before making a decision. Additional message for this card: you have felt like you are chasing your tail, looking at this option, then that option. This indecisive is exhausting you, dear one. The reason why you are confused is that you do not have enough information to make an informed decision. Your choices appear too similar right now, but once you conduct additional research, your decision will become more clear. First, begin to asking God and the angels to enter your dreams and give you more information. Then ask your feelings to give you guidance. This means imagining what it will be like if you make that decision. Then imagine what it will be like if you have made other choices. Go within and notice how your body reacts as you try on the different options. If your gut or jaw times it, this is a sign that something is not right. If your heart flutters with a warmth, this is a sign that you are in the right path. Before making your final decision, seek the counsel of wise friends and teachers who experience and intuition can guide you. So that's the reason why this is telling you to look for friends, balance, release. And this card is also saying the same thing. Take everyone's input into consideration. Merge viewpoints to create a better solution. Take your time. There's no need to rush. So if you are in an undecided, or let's say if you're getting married or would like to get into the next level of the relationship because you feel that the person is right, ask other people for advice. Go to your priest, go to a healer, go to someone like the angel said. Or you might be getting into a divorce. It's like I said, these energies are about decision making, and it has to be a strong decision. And I feel that this has to do more with inner conflicts within yourself, and what is it that the next step that you want to make. And see, Merlina tells you right here, it says do the research, see if what's best for you. It's only what's best for you. Yeah, you need to think about it. What happens if you, like they say, if you don't jump on that train, you're gonna let it go, and maybe that's the opportunity that you've been waiting for all your life. Finally, you got it, and you're gonna let it go. And most people do that. 99.9% of people let that opportunity go. They end up marrying another person because of financial needs, and at the end you see these people getting divorced 20 to 30 years later, because the reason why they got involved with this person at the beginning was not the right reason. It was because the person was there and was available, but not because they really wanted to be with that person. So I hope this message resonated to some of you. I hope it did, and if it didn't, this is not your message. But I think that to those I reach out, love and light. Take the advice of the angels, Daniel and Merlina, and hopefully share my video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, ring the little bell so you can get my videos, and it will say Spanish only or English only. So if you want English, just click on that, and the other one just delete it. Okay, you don't need to watch that because it's gonna be in Spanish. I'm just gonna worry on one channel. I'm not dealing with 2 channels. I can't, it's too much for me. And hopefully I will be live on Wednesdays for you guys. You're welcome to join my channel. Only English people on Wednesday. Okay, only English people on Wednesday. So I'm gonna try to change the time so I could reach out more people on the other side of the world. It seems that I'm reaching out, not Americans, but the other side of the world, Europe. So I see you in the next video, and take care. Bye bye. And remember, I'm sorry, if you would like to book a reading with me, you know what to do. You have my Gmail up there, or you can go directly to maria.com and see the services that I render. Bye bye.